you look at this matchup here. I mean, Firebroth definitely has the experience, definitely has the capabilities here. I think this could go either way here. And again, this is an elimination match. The winner takes on Space Colonizer in the next round of the second chance bracket. So that'll be another very interesting matchup once we get there. Whoever comes out on top between Jackimus and Firebroth, I'm looking forward to that matchup against Space Co.
And I will just add quickly that 546 that Jack set was on that TV right there here in my basement about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow. That is some nostalgia right there, Bryce. I'm loving it here. Game number 1, here we go. They both have their Razor Shield manipulations here, and they're both trying to watch out for that nuke, and they're able to dodge it precisely. So, who is going to have the whole shot? A nuke chance here for Jackimus. Can he time it right?
Oh, yeah, he nailed it.
Yeah, perfectly done. He's got the whole shot. At least I think. We'll need to get these runners synced up, though. It is going to be a mid-upper 40 for Jackimus Firebroth with a mid-upper 41. So about a 1 second lead for Jack going into collect power-ups.
So let's see what they can do here. First drop always helps immensely. We are going to see what we have. We have a rocket for Jack and orb for Firebroth. Both excellent opening drops.
Now let's see Jackimus go to work here with these rockets. One of the best in the business when it comes to firing with these rockets.
And yeah, it gets an orb in the middle. Wow, presents galore here, Aquas.
Yeah, good drops all around. And yeah, Jack is doing great with those rockets. Like, you got to clear out the stragglers so that they can group up again, get those rockets really counting, and he did that.
Fantastic.
The explosion's going to cost Firebroth a little bit. It's a 3 second lead for Jackimus, but they both have an orb going into... Oh, what the hell was that?
What was that? What a mistake.
That is like a rookie mistake right there. This is not something I would expect Jackimus to do, and Firebroth now going to have a huge opportunity.
Maybe he was thinking it wasn't gonna be the top and gambled. I don't know.
I don't know what he was thinking.
I don't know why he'd gamble. He knows this room is timed. That was a bizarre decision.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just first game jitters or what, but this is going to cost him dearly. I expect that Firebroth is going to take the lead here.
Yeah, these shrapnels are piled. He does
get the orb back. What a gift! What a gift!
Lost some time there.
Oh, yeah, he did lose time for sure. I mean, he is now down by 2 seconds, so he lost about 5 seconds there. Do that mistake right there because the shrapnels ended up getting out of control. That ended up being a time penalty. So, but right now, this is where Jackimus can make up for it. But boy, he's having to do a lot of dodging here. He does get to those rockets.
Yeah, Firebroth had his own rockets. Go ahead, Brian.
I was just going to say, Jack seems to be employing more of a, less of a circle and more of a stop and go pattern here for his holding the middle. Very odd take on it. Maybe something new he's been trying.
I personally don't like the circle wiggle, but I do know why people do that. I guess it's supposed to center the shooting a bit, but I just like to shoot what I see instead.
After the early good drops for both runners, and as I say that, Firebroth gets a late Razor Shield, which will help him finish the room, as does Jack. Equal opportunity drops. You'll love to see it. It's going to be a 3:06, keeping the lead. Still a 2 second lead for Firebroth. It's time for, Taco Bell. Taco Bell. Product placement with Taco Bell.
I mean, it must have worked for Jack. He kept it even with Firebroth. We'll have to wait and see how this one starts. As always, that first drop here can be just crucial, but we'll see what happens. Jack is known to gamble on leaving both gunners alive in here. Let's see if he's going to go with that risky format or if he's going to stick to the more tried and true methods.
Yeah, it's metagaming at its finest, that's for sure. An empty drop for both. So this is already early TTT forecasting for both runners. They both have a foot. And yeah, you're absolutely right here. He's doing it right now. He is making the high risk play, but rockets now for Firebroth.
Pretty conservative movement from Firebroth, but it's worked out for him.
Yeah, absolutely it has. So the weapon advantage right now, definitely to Firebroth. The gunner's still on the wall for Jackimus. He's just going to do what he's always done best. Just leave him, keep the kill count high. It's definitely risky, but if you can dodge these gunners, you can make it work. And it's definitely made it work for Jackimus. He's really he finally gets some rockets late as the second gunner goes down. So this is anybody's game right now, but it does look like
dangerous tank.
Look at this, look at this. He's taking the lead.
Wow.
By a fraction.
Negligible.
Negligible, absolutely. It's a fraction of a second lead for Jackimus. They both have an orb, but rockets to start for Jackimus, so he'll have the early advantage because he can start doing damage. And
some
Firebroth, yep.
goes for that.
Oh, you got like 5 shots in there with the
Yeah,
spreader.
You got a bit. You got a bit. Let's see if who's gonna get that first arm pop.
I didn't see. Did Jackimus get his ball buster?
I did not notice, to be honest.
Oh,
Another
spreader for Firebroth. He'll have to, man.
That
There's
gets
the player
one!
2 spreader, Aquas.
That's it.
That's it indeed.
Whoa,
So
firing early.
Jackimus
Firing
Inside.
early.
now it's a
And
player
another
1
spreader.
spreader and a
Yeah.
player 2 spreader for Firebroth. We're seeing all kinds of player 2 spreaders here. You'll love to see it, Aquas, but not if you're on Firebroth's side. Lead for Jack.
Firebroth, good manuals.
Yeah,
Very good, man.
Big
He'll
guy.
keep pace because it's an empty drop for Jack. He's hoping for something. What's the drop? It's an
Both
empty
get empty.
drop,
Both are empty.
but it's lobbers for another empty
Another
drop for
one.
Jack. The game is taking it away from him,
Ooh.
folks.
Jack is
Nearly avoided
shaking.
death.
Jack is shaking his head in
And
disbelief.
indeed, Firebroth is taking it, but here's another spreader.
Oh,
The
that's
world
good.
to the world.
Wow.
This is perfect.
Perfect.
Final form coming up.
Transfer
Can he
damage.
get the transfer?
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to get out of the way. What?
Oh, he
Just
would
what
have
we saw
died.
in the previous match, and Jack wins.
Yeah.
What a crazy, crazy match. That horrible mistake at Eat My Shrapnel does not cost JackimusWedge here. He's going to take the opener.
607, yeah, very good run there for Jack. But I'm telling you, like I said, there is pieces together that Jackimus can put where he's going to get a massive PB. He just needs to get it all in one run. He's definitely better than what his PB indicates. And Firebroth just did not get the drops that Jack got, and it's as simple as that. But GG to both of them. Game 1 to Jack.
It was a good game. But yeah. Those spreaders were just too good on Jack's side.
Oh, they most certainly were indeed. And that's the second time we've seen this today where a contestant, it was Scotty in the first match, and here Jack in game number 2 had to do some artful dodging and escape maneuvering to avoid getting run over from Mutoy, man, which could have potentially been disastrous for Jack had that happened. But wow, that's all I got to say is wow.
One thing I will add for Jack's tank trouble, he kind of did a hedge between his all-out attack and, you know, getting rid of a gunner right at the start, where he would pepper the one gunner periodically, but did focus on holding the middle for the most part. And right as he got rid of the second gunner with that, he finally got his rockets. So kind of funny how that works out.
Yeah, the old order of operations, as you like to say, Bryce Olf.
Yeah, I mean, your firing lanes aren't going to be that good if you're leaving a gunner alive, but at least they're going to be in the center, so you'll be able to like get that good power up if one drops. So it's like a pretty good gambit, if you will.
I mean, get rid of one gunner right at the start if you can, and it becomes a much more manageable room. You got to try to hold the middle with 2 sets of bullets flying through, tanks entering periodically, shrapnel shots. Very difficult to hold the middle in that situation. Chasing a PB, maybe. Tournament racing, that's just a recipe for disaster.
Certainly is indeed. Looks like there's a bit of a late timer on somebody's side here, but here we go. Game number 2 between Firebroth and Jack.
Firebroth going to go top door here in early on. Not a common strat. Can work to your advantage. Gives you a bit of a...
Also, Firebroth going with the dim moody lighting in the arena, while Jackimus with the lights on. So that's
Well, you know, that's
could
just,
help one way or another.
It's just personal preference of the viewing audience. I mean, this is for their entertainment.
It's a negligible lead, at least on screen, on Jackimus' side. But again, keep in mind that both of these runners' timers didn't start at the same time. So if this ends up being a close game, we might have to go to the booth on that one. Opening orb, by the way, for Firebroth.
Great for Firebroth, and yeah, Jack with the grenades, not great.
No, not at all. So this time it's Firebroth getting the goods he needs to give himself that early advantage, and more grenades now for Jack. He is fishing for a drop here. He's grabbing everything he can get his hands on. Does get some rockets, though.
A little late, maybe, but he'll be able to use them here to probably finish the room out. He's going to just, like you said, finish it out nice and quick, and to use the nuke. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
5-second lead for Firebroth, but yeah, 2/3 of a complement of rockets there for Jack will keep him afloat to start. Firebroth still with that orb intact in Eat My Shrapnel, and he's got everything under control to start. So you always like to see that. 42.5 seconds is the definitely preferred length of time you want to spend in this room. If you have 42.5 seconds, that means you did everything right. You might have gotten good weapons, but you did everything right that you could in that room. You didn't let the swarmers get out of control, and you didn't have 4 Mr. Shrapnels on the screen at any point either.
Looks like Jack is maybe going to get one more drop. Let's see. No,
That was
will
it.
not. And we'll enter again back about 4 or 5 seconds, but without an orb.
Yeah, he's 4 seconds back. It has a little bit of rockets to start the room. Now invulnerability, so that's not going to really help him too much. So this is where Firebroth could potentially pull, but there is an orbit in a nasty location because the Mr. Shrapnels were going off, but Jackimus gets his orb. That's going to keep him afloat.
That invulnerability sure made that a much easier grab. He had no problem getting down to it.
Definitely indeed a nuke that Jack will ignore. Firebroth gets a foot, so neither player really getting drops. Jack almost losing that orb there. That green shirt was getting a little bit too close to picking it off. He's into a little bit of trouble here. He's letting those swarmers get too close to that orb, gentlemen.
He is very much a believer in you hit the big group, you can let the stragglers get close, then shoot them if you have to, because sometimes they will wander off on their own. He's very much a gambler.
It's always a real gutsy play because we've seen, you know, the swarmers just get right in and take away that orb. Firebroth gained 3 more seconds on Jack. He's built the lead now to 7 seconds, but it could have been a lot worse if he didn't get that orb.
No, he got it early enough that he was able to minimize the damage here. And again, tank trouble going to loom large. Will Firebroth play it more conservative? Will Jack's aggressive play maybe cost him? All we can do is wait and see.
Opening drop for Firebroth's a foot, so another not great drop to start. He can ignore that. He gets
Orb
one gun.
drop.
Well, I would have
loses
taken it.
the orb. A dude for Jackimus, and he loses the orb too, so he
wow.
can't take advantage.
We've entered the slop
Oh
fest.
no, and he gets picked off before he picks up the rockets, but because he was player 2, he was able to get that rocket. I'm not so sure if he gets that from player 1's side.
It would have been a tougher get, that's for sure, even with that expanded hitbox from the invulnerability.
All right, a razor shield for Jack, or replacement for Firebroth. So Firebroth could keep this lead potentially if he can keep it under control, but right now that tank giving him fits.
Firebroth's not getting much done for the last like 10 seconds.
No, he was very pinned, and that was not good.
He needs to do stuff.
Get to that nuke, give him a breather, and look at this. Jack has flipped the script. He's got the lead now with a 4:23. Firebroth trying to finish the job with the rockets. He will, but that 6-second lead just turned into a 9-second deficit. Jack gained 15 seconds on that room, folks.
Oh, great rocket fire from Jack. Very efficient. Got the gunners in the perfect amount. Got that grenade before it was run over. Sees the spreader and decides not to go for it. I think I like that call.
And Firebroth will forego the ball buster and work on getting some damage there, but gets vibrated almost instantly once the vibration started.
Another great decision from Jack. Knew the spreader was almost done. Knew he had to get to that lobber, so he backed off and just got around, grabbed it, and kept the weapon chaining.
He's got the second arm popped off. Firebroth's got the first. He's going to have to manual on the spreader here. He's looking for an invulnerability.
On the feet there.
Won't get it. Yeah, that's a tough break there. The spreader on the feet.
Very nice.
Yeah,
those are manuals.
Good manual. Got to form off of that, and we're still pretty close here.
Oh, there he goes.
Spreader!
That's a great spreader.
At least 2 seconds on the red shield, by the way, there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does
like get vibrated, but
2.5 or something.
He's definitely in the run, but it is still a Jack lead. But he's empty.
Oh, there it is.
Empty drop. Lobber for Jack. Rockets for Firebroth. Still a Jack lead. Close still. Spreader. Yeah, he's not going to die for that one. He's going to focus on the lobbers instead.
I guess he decided he's close enough to the form change and didn't want to.
And there's the spreader too late. Firebroth gets the head popped
couldn't grab it. He couldn't grab it without dying.
Oh, it's an empty drop.
Okay,
empty drop though for Firebroth. He's got to grab it soon, and he's blocked. Wow.
Rockets
Final
on
form.
the feet.
If you get a lobber on Firebroth's side, we can maybe see this change. There it is. Oh,
is this going to be enough for Jack? I don't know.
It's a lot. It's a good bit more damage.
But he's blocked.
Mother hen.
He's blocked.
No.
4,
Firebroth
3,
getting those hits in.
2,
and it's gone.
1.
Firebroth still taking him out. Oh my god.
Firebroth wins it. Blocked lobber on Jack's side. Ends up being Jack's undoing, and Firebroth has knotted up this match. You'll love to see it. We're going at least 4. Man, these have been some great matches so far. It's a 5.5-second win for Firebroth. The mother hen on that lobber cost Jack a 2-0 lead. Wow. Can you believe that, gentlemen?
Man, not even a mother hen on a spreader, a lobber this time. And yeah,
Yeah.
that was the difference, finally.
Oh, man. I mean, Jack did what he could. I mean, he erased that deficit. He gained 15 seconds on tank trouble. Jack deserved to win it, but Mutoy Man was like, not today.
I just let you know, Jack did start his timer early, but it was not enough to make a difference.
No.
Well, what was that difference there, anyways?
It was like a 1.5 seconds or something like that. He did start his timer early, but it was a 5.5 second race, so that's going to prove to be inconsequential.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Mutoid has been very giving and trolling all in once. This has been very, very Mutoidy out there today.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing Mutoy Man at the top of his game right now, and I want to see this in the finals. Right? I mean, I know we're still a ways away from the Grand Championship, but I want to see that kind of behavior in the finals.
Yeah,
it would be nice, wouldn't it?
I will say that we've got some significant matchups starting to fall here more and more with each passing day. But I'm going to get these guys underway. I'll let you guys talk about the match to come up, and also it looks like maybe a Friday Titanic showdown coming up. Tentative that Friday one.
That should be fun.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And there might even be an exhibition, so you guys don't want to miss that one.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, Curly Tech was mentioning that last spreader that Jackimus had on that he could have used maybe for transfer, but he decided not to. Like that could be the caption on that match of the those little meme videos that Fry makes.
I agree with that there, Aquas. It was a very tough decision there from Jack. He went conservative and wanted to keep the lobbers because, yeah, if he would have died trying to get that spreader, it would have been very, very close. And who knows, Mutoy Man might have blocked that, and that definitely would have been the underdog race in there. But that's in the past now. It's time for game number 3, a pivotal game number 3 for these runners, because winner will have 2 opportunities to take the match and then move on to face Space Co. in the next round. Let's see what happens.
I would just say meme videos. No. Those are historical retellings, is what those are. It's art.
Yeah, history will be made. And speaking of history,
Yeah.
it's going to be a Firebroth hole shot by about half a second. It's another negligible lead, low 40 to about a mid 40 for Jack. Close game.
Oh my, let's see again. They had hot opening drops in the first game. They were less so in the second one. Let's see how it lines up here.
Something in between. Spreader and an ore for Firebroth. Here we go.
Versus.
But an ore for the second drop for Jack.
Okay.
Well, I didn't see it because my internet decided that was a good time to cut. Right?
I know, right? Well, it's equal opportunity drops. Again, that's what you want to see here in hotly contested matches like this one. And it is going to be, it looks like a Jackimus lead here as his firing lanes were crisp, 79 seconds. So despite the fact that Firebroth got an opening orb, he ended up losing quite a bit of time. He's down by 6 seconds.
A little shaky at the end there for Firebroth. Lost a few seconds, but
that shows you how efficiency will get you everywhere. In this
he got
game.
the bowling 7-9 split, is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yep, the 7-9 split or the 8-10 split, depending if you're right or left-handed, respectively. But there you go. Jackimus keeping control of the room, as is Firebroth. Not really getting weapons to help them out. They don't need the weapons, but they would, of course, like a rocket to close the room, ideally at the fastest juncture possible. Firebroth will ignore that Razor Shield. It's a 2:02 for Jack. Firebroth, that should be the last one, I believe. It'll be a 2:08. Could have gained a little time there if he recognized that was the last one. And an opening Razor Shield for Jack to start total carnage.
And a grenade for Firebroth, but at least the locations where you want a grenade, i.e. somewhere you're never going to go.
Absolutely, because that's a drop you can definitely ignore. Spreader near the feet for Firebroth. He can definitely use that. Razor Shield burning up on Jack's side. He is going to be a little aggressive, maybe buy another Razor Shield. We know it's very rare to see 2 Razor Shields in total carnage. We may have an opportunity here.
So far, this has been Jack's most efficient arena play from front to back. He's just been very on point.
Yeah, this is definitely, you know, what Jackimus is capable of doing game in and game out. This is the kind of play you would expect to see from him. And look at this time. He's going to have a
Solid.
sub 3 256. Very good.
Now, what I want to see for him in the net, this is not bad for Firebroth, all things considered, but
Yeah,
he's
I
going
think
to be
Firebroth's playing
about
pretty good, too.
11 seconds back, but he does have 2/3 of a clip of spreader to start tank trouble. Jack has no weapon, so if it's an empty drop for Jack, it's going to be advantage Firebroth. Let's take a look here. Opening drop for Jack.
Drop, always massive.
Spreader.
Solid
Spreader's
drop. Let's
good.
see if he's gonna. He's not gonna leave the middle. It's a 6 of one, half dozen of the other in that situation, really.
He'll take that. He's got one gunner down. Rockets though for Firebroth. He'll
Oh man.
Yeah, good idea. Use the rest of the spreader on one of the gunners, then grab the rockets to conserve the clip. Rockets down for Jack, but that was dangerous. That tank was trying to pick him off.
Jack made a good grab. No panic. Got it done. Firebroth, meanwhile, a bit of a danger there, but he swung himself out of it.
Meanwhile, Firebroth gonna have to make do with the pea shooter here. They both gonna have to make do with the pea shooter.
What a solid room.
Big
Great-
PB chance for
great
Jack.
job. Oh yeah, humongous chance here.
Come on, give him the drops. Firebroth
Firebroth
doing a solid job, but he's just
he's
not
doing
getting
good.
the drops, and he's going to fall further back. But, you know, he kept it solid, didn't lose the orb, didn't take the depth, but is going to lose some time to that closing shrapnel here. Jack, no ball buster.
I'm more amazed the orb is still alive to try the ball buster. He
Oh, I know.
danced
He
that thing
almost
in there.
pulled it off with everything that was going on in the screen right there, Bri.
Quite impressive, you have to say. He even got the orb to
Empty
the
drop
top.
for Firebroth. He can just focus on the gunners, then try his luck on the ball buster. He'll leave one gunner attached. And
Spreader!
No. Spreader for Jack.
He's landing some manuals here.
Good
Oh,
manuals here.
Several little doses of it, and he could
Very
probably
nicely
got a
done.
form doing that.
Use the entire
Yeah, he
weapon
did.
and has lobbers. And you know what? He gets a spreader here. It could be his. Come on, spreader.
Spreader.
Better be huge right now.
Spreader.
It is an
Ah,
invulnerability. And he got it at least before he
Opposite.
died.
Right. And there's the grenades.
There's Firebroth.
Oh, a spreader maybe now. Ah, it's a
A
foot.
foot.
Dang it. This is classic game nose material, folks. Jackimus could have, you know, gotten a PB out of this, but the game's like, you know what?
Wow, come on.
No PB for
3.
you. That's 3 empty drops in a row. 4 empty drops in a row.
4.
But Firebroth really? Oh, here's a spread. He's got a manual.
Are
on,
you
Firebroth.
Empty drops in a row.
Look
Die
at him.
for it.
Look at his face.
Do I hear 6? 6 empty drops. I got 6. I got 6. Do I hear
Wow.
7? 7. I got 6. I got 6. I got 6. Do I hear 7? What is the drop? It's
my
empty drops. Do I hear 8? Do I hear 7? Do I hear 8? I got 7. 7. 7. Do I hear 8? There's the spreader,
Yay!
but way too late. And
Oh,
Firebroth,
the spreader for Firebroth. Open up vulnerability for Jack.
Too
my
late for
goodness.
Jack.
This is
I don't know about that. Jack got full.
Did he get transfer damage?
He dies.
Oh,
Both
he
empty.
does. It's
They both have like
empty.
1 HP still. And
What's
both.
going on? Will Firebroth steal this one?
Yes, he
does.
will.
I cannot believe it.
8.
7 consecutive empty drops for Jack. Not only sabotages his shot at a PB, it loses him the race. I cannot believe it, gentlemen.
Jeez. Talk about bad luck.
That 40 watt range is absolutely correct. That was highway robbery right there. I can't even say it. That's how outraged I am at what I just saw, gentlemen.
I mean, is that a
Jackimus
record?
went
Jeez.
from PB potential to losing the game. Firebroth was several forms down, you guys.
8 empty. He's lighting the smoke after that.
I cannot believe that. That was disgusting. I mean, we saw that happen with Ladab earlier in this tournament, and now Jack gets victimized by 7 empty drops in a row at the penultimate form. Still had a chance to win, but when he got run over, that opened the door for Firebroth to sneak in and close it out. Yikes. I hope Jack can rebound from this because that was heartbreaking.
I mean,
Jack, who is one of the coolest cucumbers in the game, is going to take a moment. He says,
I don't blame him.
He says, and I quote, "Need to simmer down for a minute." Yeah, no crap. you need to simmer down for a minute. That is infuriating.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, we have seen Mutoy, man. I know we've been doing these tournaments now. This is our 8th annual Super Smash TV tournament, Bryce Wolf. I can't recall a tournament, let alone a match, a tournament where Mutoid Man just was this mean to runners at any given point. Because the 7 keys for Ladab, now the 7 empty drops in a row for Jack. We're gonna see more trolling, much more trolling before this tournament is done. Don't know who, don't know what, don't know when. But rest assured, we're gonna see this again at some point this tournament.
I mean, we did see Ladab get 7 keys out of 8 drops.
Yeah,
in
and Jack had 7 empty drops in a row.
Like this is some wild swinging one way. So somebody's gonna get one of those insane drop sets of like spreader invulnerability, or something crazy. It's got to snap back to average it out.
I know.
But while Jack is taking his time here, guys, remember we have one more match tonight following this one. Johnny Link versus Aries Fire Tiger. And then it's right now proposed. It's actually a Sunday proposed match around 3 or 4 Eastern. We will get you a start time on that. It'll be an exhibition potentially of a normal percent co-op run done by Telio and Tetsuo, followed immediately by a top half of the bracket matchup of Telio versus Tetsuo. They'll be good friends, better enemies, much like a WWE pay-per-view back in the day. So that'll be kind of fun. Looking forward to that. And there's also a couple other matches that we'll be hopefully scheduling this weekend. I see Jack throwing some no ways. I'll check back to the matchup channel now and see if he is ready to go.
Yep, the matches have been good and should be getting better here. As we go through the tournament. Man, 8 empty. So it's so rare.
It's very rare indeed. And usually you see that kind of behavior on the final form. That behavior happened on the penultimate form. That was just disgusting.
So Jack will be fighting for his tournament life here in this game number 4. I expect him to strike back with a vengeance, or to be completely tilted and get blown out of the house.
Oh yeah,
it'll be nothing in between.
No, I completely agree 100%, Bri. Either he is going to throw down the run of his life, or he is going to be so tilted he ends up losing by a minute. I completely agree with that assessment 100%, Bri. I mean, I want to see a game number 5, so that would be nice. But, Firebroth, his consistency has been good. I mean...
Yeah, he's playing good for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely playing well. I mean, obviously, these are not probably the times he wants to see. He would like to see something better than this. But, he's playing well enough that he's kept himself afloat going into Mutoid Man fights. And, he did not have great drops to start that Mutoid Man fight, and Jack just had the world of drops, got to that penultimate form so quick, had a great chance at a PB, and then the game just took everything away from him. Let's see if Jackimus can rebound or if Firebroth can wrap it up here in game number 3. And yeah, Jack delaying and getting that Razor Shield there, so it kind of makes you wonder, folks.
He always does that. That is very common
is it?
for him. Yeah,
okay.
That's regular. No, but he does seem by the messages in the matchup channel that he's still a little tilted. So
now I
see.
I can't fault him for what just happened, but he is going to have a slight hole shot, negligible lead for Jackimus here, as he's got an upper 40 to a low 41 for Firebroth, so about a third of a second, I'd say.
Fairly negligible.
Yeah, absolutely negligible. Open and drops here and collect powers for these runners. A spreader for Jack, but another first drop orb for Firebroth. That's his second one, I believe.
Nothing feels better than seeing that orb or a rocket first drop.
Pretty good shooting after he grabbed it, even though he wasn't in the center, too.
Well, absolutely good shooting there from Firebroth. Rockets here for Jack will keep him going, though, at the very least. Spreader for Firebroth will be nice. Yeah.
And given his abilities, he may even leave with the lead here. And
He will have the leads. You're absolutely right. It's a 123 with a 124. Just under a 2-second lead for Jack to start Eat My Shrapnel. But more importantly, he needs to see that orb soon. We'll see if he can get one.
Good decision. He's not rushing for the rocket with that swirl coming at him. And now just setting up and hopefully going to see something. He's going to let that grenade go. It's early in the room. Doesn't have to chase power-ups yet.
That's true, but every time you get a drop like that, that lessens the number of potential drops you could get.
So this situation, I would take the spreader because I'm trying to get that orb. And now he's going to take it.
And he wanted to conserve as much rocket as he possibly could before utilizing that spreader right there. Firebroth has this room completely under control. Jackimus does too, but the problem is he's still orbless at 206. It's a 208. The lead's about the same going into it.
Orb in the middle, unbelievable.
Just what the doctor ordered, gentlemen.
And he's going to take the nuke and clean up. I like that. He's not one to often use them, but it sets him up nicely.
Yep. Great patience there. It pays off for Jack. A rocket in a tight spot for Firebroth. Look out.
Yeah, back up.
That is
over the mine.
That is a difficult grab. You've got to get it from underneath without stepping on the mine.
Yeah, I think that was a good idea. I think that was a wise choice for Firebroth. Rather than risking the leaf dit, he wanted to keep his orb nice and healthy because, you know, he takes that death, he's going to be double digits back easily.
You should really get that speech problem you've got checked. I believe it's pronounced leaf edit.
Oh, leaf edit, leaf dit. That's all the same to me. Of course, I could say like leafidite or something like that.
And what a great room from Jack.
Yeah,
he got
very
the
good
drop,
room indeed.
played
304.
it well, 304, but nothing wrong with Firebroth, 307.
I only lost a second of to Jack in that room, so they both kept it going. Half a clip of spreader for Firebroth. Jack, no weapon, starting tank trouble. Jack needs this game to force a deciding game number 5, or his tournament is over.
And I see 40 saying that he leafed it. I know what it is, but I did it wrong in my meme video, so that's just the joke now.
It is a joke, and we love it for it. Jack gets an empty drop for Firebroth, so nothing doing for either. But advantage Firebroth just because he had the spreader to start.
That was close,
It
Jack.
was very close. Rockets for Firebroth. Can he get to it, though?
It's going to be a tough game.
He's going to let it go.
No, had to let it go. And Jack drops his orb.
Ooh, this.
Uh-oh.
And he dies.
But Firebroth drops his orb, too, so can't take advantage.
Man, scary times
Oh,
here.
man.
Rocket
Jack
the
burned
door.
his razor.
Can he get to it?
Oh, this is a tough grab. Got it.
Got it. He's just got to avoid the bullets. He can set up now.
Very
Should
good.
maintain his lead.
Yeah, he will maintain his lead because Firebroth has gotten typical tank trouble trash since dropping that orb another foot. More vitamin R for Jack. He'll keep the lead and grow it, I would think. Ooh, but that was
He almost
close.
died.
He almost bought it there. 425 and the lead for Jack, and that clock is a ticking for Firebroth. It's looking promising. I can say it's looking good. It's looking promising for Jack right now in game number 4. Tick, 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 tick. Firebroth, it is going to be 18 and a half seconds back of Jack. Still could make it happen. Lobbers, more lobbers for Jack to start the fight. That's a good start.
Yep, he's just chaining lobbers right now. There's nothing wrong with that. Very dependable damage. And you come in with the lead like he did, that usually will win you a race.
Most certainly will indeed. Rockets for Jack after getting the lobbers to start. Firebroth, I beg your pardon. Just going to ignore the rockets, use the lobbers to try and get a form, and gets a spreader.
And Jack again is just sticking with the consistent damage. Doesn't want to go manuals. And he gets lobbers. The vulnerability!
Oh,
my goodness. Are you kidding me?
That's big.
Is Firebroth going to steal this one too?
Big.
Another invulnerability. That's back-to-back invulnerabilities for Jack.
Okay, that didn't matter too much.
What's the spreader on the feet?
Now he's got to back off. He backed off at the exact right time.
Oh,
what
beautiful,
recognition.
beautiful. And he's at final form. Firebroth has the head popped off.
Wow.
Come on.
I didn't think he was that far in damage.
Slobber could do it for Jack. Firebroth needs a drop. It's looking good for Jack here.
Looking good. He's just got to finish it out.
He's
got it.
Great firing.
His second 6-0X of the match. And honestly...
Oh, well played. Gotta give him props. I mean, even when he lost the orb, he got back-to-back rockets. We saw his firing go to work. It was crystal clear. He did a great job after dropping that orb, chaining those rockets together. And then Firebroth got the spreader. It just wasn't enough, I beg your pardon. And we go to a 5th, folks. You'll love to see it.
And as someone said in the chat, in Jack's case, you lobbed to see it.
Yeah, those lobbers definitely saved his bacon. He chained lobbers, got a spreader, and the time, that spreader. You know, he had a little invulnerability left. He timed it perfectly to get out of the way to maximize the amount of damage he took. Didn't die, kept the damage going, consistent damage. That's what won Jackimus this race here. I mean, Tank Trouble definitely helped, but his Mutoy Man fight right there, his heads-up decision-making won him that race.
I'll just add this. If he had had that Mutoid on the previous race, not only would have he won the race by a lot, he would have got a 542. So that tells you how solid that was. They're ready, guys. I'm going to get them underway.
All right, this is it. This is for all the marbles here. Winner moves on to face Space Colonizer in the next round. The loser is out.
Yep. Game 5 hype.
You love to see a Game 5 hype. This is what we all come to see here at the Smash TV circuit. Game number 5 for all the marbles. Win, you advance. Lose, you're done. Oh my goodness. Here we go. The 5th and final game, the decider between Firebroth and the 2-time silver medalist, JackimusWedge. Here we go.
I gotta say, I do not know who's going to win this one. I have seen some good and some bad from both competitors here. But Jack survived after that heinous Game 3. Let's see if he can get it done with another one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was one of those games right there. That game number 3 that he lost. That could have gone either way. He, and fortunately...
Great nuke. Wow.
Beautiful nuke for both.
Firebroth was really, the room was at an end. Jack...
High 38 and a high 39. Great times from both. But yeah, that nuke... Jackimus is feeling it right now. He's feeling it.
Timed it perfectly.
He's feeling it right now. Here we go. The first drop is a nuke. The first drop, this time grenades, so nothing to write home about for either player. More grenades this time for Jack, and oh, he gets clubbed.
It hurts, but it doesn't. It's not as much of a detriment as you think in the first room. There's just not a big spot.
Here we go. The first orb once again goes to Firebroth.
I think Jack may leave the nuke this time. Let's see.
He does. There's a spreader.
I probably would have grabbed it just because the shrapnels.
And then with Firebroth, 125 plays 127. So it's a 2-second lead for Firebroth. Gained 3 seconds in that room. But Firebroth a little dangerous. Woo!
Oh my goodness.
Jack having to dance too. This has been very dicey for both early. Let's see if Jack can get that orb here. Doesn't want to be going into total carnage without an orb again. Yeah,
he may not get bailed out next time. I mean, that game number 4, I mean, Jackimus, it was good that he took that break. He kept his composure, played an amazing arena, had a very good Mutoy Man fight. And yeah, right now, he needs a little bit of help, but he's definitely in the running at this point. It's a 208 for Firebroth, and it's a 210. So Jackimus, a little under 3 seconds back of Firebroth, but he needs that orb, and that key is not going to help.
No, that ain't it, pal.
Oh, my goodness. Grenades, that's not going to help either. And this is starting to, the wheels starting to come off. Does get a razor shield.
It's a razor. Let's see if he can get that orb now. Or a rocket, something to help him. There we go, finally.
All right, that's going to stop the bleeding. We'll see what the damage ends up being, but he desperately needed that orb. And you know what? Firebroth really hasn't gotten anything to chain that orb together. He's getting some trash drops here in Total Carnage. Spreader now for Jackimus. So, the lack of good drops for Firebroth, we could see Jack take the lead.
I don't know. Firebroth's fire lane's pretty good.
Firebroth has had the lanes locked. Jack is going to go for those rockets and is going to try to... Oh, wow, he does get it.
Oh, but he loses it!
Bit of a mistake.
Oh boy.
Man.
Not at the end of the room.
309. He's going to be 4.5 seconds back. Well, the good news is he has 2/3 of a clip of rockets, so he'll take out the gunners, but dropping that orb right at the end of the room, that could be fatal.
But into Jack's possible advantage. He has always maintained that the best thing to do in tank trouble is not have an orb and just get rockets.
Well, you can't bank on that. I mean, not everybody can get 6 rockets in a row like Prince Leaf, but who knows?
Let's see here. Opening drop was an invulnerability versus invulnerability. Jack can pick it up if he wants. Just to, oh, I guess he missed it and just we'll have to leave it now.
Maybe he was thinking orb on his mind. Who knows? But there's
Here we go. Here we go with the rockets.
There you go, indeed. That's what he needs.
And next drop is a nuke. He'll probably ignore that. Firebroth, meanwhile, continuing to hold the middle here.
Yep, he's doing fine, but he's getting the TTTT here, but
Spreader
we'll
on
see
the
what
feet.
happens. Yeah, that's not what Jack wanted.
No, but he's chaining drops that are keeping him in this. That's what he needs. Foot out of the way is not what he wanted to see. That's the first really bad one.
Nice tank snipe on Firebroth, keeping it together.
Well, the vulnerability, he can use this when you don't have an orb.
Yeah, no, some solid tank work. And look at this. Like I said, he's done his job.
Yes,
he's
he
still
has.
in this.
He did all he could, and he's only down by about 4.5 seconds. It is still anybody's game. Firebroth does have the advantage with the ball buster chance.
Let's see what Jack's going to do here at the start.
Especially with an empty drop. An empty drop for both. Let's see if Firebroth gets the ball buster.
Jack dies. Good advantage.
Yes.
Where's the weapon? It's a key. Are you kidding
me? He's
already starting to smirk.
Where is it? It's Mother Hen. What? We don't even know what the drop is. It's Mother Hen. That's 3 empty drops in a row to start this fight. Do I hear 4?
Not great. And no, we don't need to auctioneer him into another 7.
Thank God. Thank God. Spreader in a player 1 spot.
What we could get this. Oh, this is free. This is free because he's on the side. Mutoid can't run him over. He's landing a ton of shots here.
That's a lot.
What a bunch
We're
of
tied.
manuals.
Both arms popped off. But where's the next drop? Where's the next? Oh,
are you kidding me, dude?
Meanwhile, Firebroth is non-stop lobbers.
This is intolerable.
Lobber now for Jack. It's
Non-stop.
still anyone's game.
This is consistent damage that Firebroth is getting. This could win it if it keeps up.
Get the foot. Get the foot.
Doesn't need to. He can focus on firing lanes as he's already popped the head. Oh my goodness.
That was good.
And bleed is growing for Firebroth. His firing has been great.
That was a good call.
He needs a spreader, does Jackers. He needs it now. Or empty drops need to show up on Firebroth's side.
Jack's getting weapons, but he can't help the drops being
Final
real good.
4 for Firebroth. This could do it.
Oh my God.
Lobber, this could do it for Firebroth. It's looking
like the
good.
10th lobber drop.
Pops off for Jackers. He needs a spreader now.
Don't die! Don't die! No! Wait, it's okay.
This could hurt Firebroth.
Still got
it's a key.
But it was quick grab. It's a lobber for Firebroth. This should be enough if
More
he doesn't
lobbers.
get run over.
Watch out.
That's it.
Okay.
Wow.
And Firebroth is going to win once again because Mutoid Man stole it from Jack twice.
I mean, this one was bad at the start, but that spreader manual on the side for Jack got him back into it. Just not meant to be here. Jack put up. He doesn't have to shut up. That was just some bad luck at the wrong time.
That was heinous luck on
and
Mutoid Man.
Some overall great play.
Yeah, he played really, really well. I mean, Jack is not going to be happy with the result of this. Firebroth, he's ecstatic. He knows.
Firebroth is happy, though.
Yeah, he knows he got away with one right there. He knows that Mutoid Man saved his bacon, both in games 3 and 5. Tough break for the 2-time silver medalist there, but it is Firebroth who is moving on to the next round to take on Space Colonizer, and you just hate to see it from JackimusWedge. I mean, I hope this doesn't deter him from coming back for Season 9, but he played exceptionally well. It's just Mutoid Man be Mutoid Man sometimes.